Welcome back to the channel. So, taking a break from the Ford. We got parts and stuff on order. We are waiting for a bumper still. We've got a fuel tank. Door handles are on the way. We got some lock cylinders, ignition switch, stuff like that. I think we might have found a solution to our sail panels. Anyway, we're waiting on a few things. So I'm going to do what I've been wanting to do from the very beginning and got terribly sidetracked. We're going to start working on the shop. So previously, just had this very small box with just a few breakers in it. So we temporarily ran wire over to a bigger box to handle the circuits that we need. I still got to get an electrician out to see if wire ran from the house and all that stuff's big enough to do what we need to do. But we can at least get circuits ran, lights ran, outlets. Previously we only had one outlet over here in the corner and then like various extension cords and stuff. So it was a real big hassle. So I'm gonna start on that, and hopefully we can start getting wood on the walls after that. We'll see how long all this stuff takes. All of it's kind of tedious and time consuming. So boss lady's working on taking out the switch and stuff. We're gonna get all the old wiring out, which is pretty much just the light circuit now. So we're gonna get all that out and run all new stuff. Went to store this morning and got a bunch of stuff. Hopefully everything we need. Got these to hopefully mount the lights with, stuff like that. So we are doing this kind of on the cheap side. Electrical's not cheap, but technically, being a metal building, I think it's supposed to all have like this, like some kind of conduit and whatnot. I'm just gonna run the Romex and it'll all be protected 8 feet up by OSB anyway. Anything above that would be same as like a attic would be, and there's, you know, exposed Romex up there, up an attic. So I'm gonna run it that way. Don't use what I do as legit or OSHA approved or whatever. I'm just showing you the way I'm doing it, not necessarily the right way. So got a lot of work to do. So we're gonna get to it here. I'm gonna start ripping this stuff down. All right, all the other electricals out, or all the existing electricals out. So I think we're gonna start with the lights. It's hot. And of course there's no power, so we can't run a fan or anything. So idea is go up from the box to the roof. Basically kind of the same way the other one was ran. Run along this way, down. And I'm gonna run a double box, I think, this way, right inside the door. Originally there was only one switch here just for the inside lights. We are gonna run a circuit up and over to the toolbox somewhere. I have a power strip over there with all the chargers and stuff plugged in. I'd like to be able to turn that off when I'm not in the shop, and it'll be easy with the light switch, which would be 2 switches on here. The other 2, one, I want to put like a floodlight out here to do all in front of the shop, and then I'm going to run one and just dead end it into a box probably over here somewhere on the inside. Eventually down this side, I'd like to run a little bit of a lean-to for storage, stuff that can be outside but not necessarily like directly in the sun and the rain, like what's here already, the body parts and whatnot. They can just kind of be out here out of the way. So eventually when I do that, I might run a light or two out here. So that'll all be ran from the switches in here. And so I took down the four UFO lights in the main area here. I have 2 more, and the plan is to run those on this side, because again, I want to run a loft about 8 feet off the floor on this side for storage. So since I have these lights, I'm just going to run those. So again, circuit will come over. I'll run just a 2 switches here. One will run those 2 lights, and the other one will run whatever lights we decide to put under the loft space. This will be kind of like the work area, I guess. So that'll be all for the light circuits. Other than that, I am going to put, where is it? This guy has an outlet and a switch. So when I run my power strip back here, I'll do a light switch up to a box up in here so we can run a floodlight out back if we want to. Of course, thinking about that now, the main switch for the charger will have to be on in order to turn the floodlight on, but not that big of a deal. So if we're out in the shop, I'm going to turn the lights on and the charger on anyway. So if I got to come over to here to buy a toolbox or whatever, turn the light switch on, I'm probably going out this door anyway, and lights and all that stuff beyond. So anyway, all right, so we're gonna get some wire stretched out, and I'm not going to use like P clamps or any of that stuff. I'm probably doing it the wrong way, but zip ties. I'm just going to zip tie everything up. Again, probably not the correct way to do it per code or whatever, but it's going to work for what we need to do it. This is a DIY project. It would cost me thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to have an electrician come out here and do all this stuff. So if I can do it, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it at least the right way in my head, not necessarily the right way that an inspector would think. But all right, so let's get some wire out, and we'll start stretching it out. We'll be back with you in a second. We're kind of working backwards here. So switch on that side, wire's going to come up across the center of the door. There'll be a light here, a light here. Started with this side. You see I mounted a box there. Again, that's going to get an outlet and a switch, and then ran this wire up, and just out the top, that'll go into a box up here for a floodlight for out back. The other white wire is going to come from our switch, and I did actually find some 14-3 wire that I had. So basically the way this works, let me unwrap this real quick. It's hard to see. Where's that razor knife? So standard wire. Sorry about the lighting. You have a neutral and a ground. White is neutral, bare is copper is ground. Then you have a hot wire. So in this wire, you have the same neutral, ground, and hot, and then an extra red wire. We'll use that red wire as a hot from the switch. So again, this is the wire out from the switch. So switch on the other side of the shop, we'll use the black wire as a switched wire to turn on the outlet, we'll put the red on the other side of the other side of the switch that's hot all the time, and bring that over to run the switch on this side. So what I was saying before about that switch having to be on before this switch will work will no longer be the case, because it'll have a hot wire all the time. So anyway, I know it's a little hard to follow. I'll kind of show a little bit better as we're doing it. So the orange wire is 10 gauge. We're going to use that for 220. I did order a mini split, and the plan is it'll run out and the main unit will sit outside here somewhere. And then fairly central, I'll put the unit up in here somewhere. And I ordered a 36,000 BTU. Did a couple calculators and whatnot, and that's what I came up with. Again, this is not super well insulated. We did do the spray foam. It's not on super thick. Doors aren't insulated, anything like that. But if we knock it down a little bit, temperature down a little bit, like today, it's the last couple of weeks, what's it been? More than that, mid to upper 90s and really high humidity. I'm sweating my butt off here. 92 right now. So yeah, so if we can bring that down a little bit and knock humidity down a little bit just to make it a little more comfortable, that's kind of the goal. So we got this, I don't know if you can see it, this kind of vertical piece. Just next to that is where we're going to mount the light. So I have a like a single box here. We're going to mount to the bar up there. We'll have the wire coming into it from the switch. Actually, it'll be coming from the other light, and then the light out either the same side or the other side, however we end up doing it. But that'll be a enclosed spot for our connections. So we got this ladder moved over, get the box mounted. Again, box mounted here, got to fish the wire along there, another zip tie or two. And then we have another chunk of wire, which is actually going to be off the other switch. Again, this is kind of a lot to follow. It's all working in my brain, sort of. So another wire from there to a light on that side, and then down to the switch. So we get the ladder moved, climb up where it's 10-15 degrees even hotter, and get rocking here. All right, I don't know how well this is going to show up. We'll see how it does. So plan is use this hook, drill through to mount the light, and then mount the box somewhere along here to run our wires through. So probably mount the box under, maybe? I think under. So I'm gonna dig through my pockets here and find all my tools. You only gave me just enough screws, huh? Yep. All right, I'm gonna drop all those. Oop, that's the wrong one. So,
just trying to conserve pocket space.
Go something like this. Should I favor this side maybe? Something like that. Where's the other screw? It's gone.
I wonder if you do a wire thing.
A wire thing? Oh. Where's the other screw at? Hmm?
So do you need a new screw?
No, I found it. All right. you guys are in the way. So, try this side. Gonna work? Right in that area somewhere? I don't know. All right. This drill bit don't cut, which is nice. And the battery's dead. One second. Oh my God. Yeah, I don't like that drill bit.
And the razor knife.
Mirror.
Got the light now or?
Oh.
I'm ready. Do you need the razor knife?
I will.
Okay.
Shortly.
So you may take the drill down with me.
Where's the fancy little safety cable at?
That's on the other side.
There it is. Okay.
Right here.
What?
Razor knife.
All right. So the box in, wires ran. Again, this one will run. All three of these will run over. One will run to a light there, then they'll make their way down over by the door to the light switch. So, all right, I'm gonna do this 5 more times. Looking forward to it. So, check back with you guys in a few minutes. Last you saw was up to here. Got the light in. Continued that on. Got the second one on that run. Ran down over to our switch here. Also added a wire here to run up to run our floodlight up for out front, as well as we ran a wire over to up in this corner. We're going to mount a box outside here somewhere for our lean-to on that side of the building, like I talked about earlier. Yeah. Still got to run a power wire from the box to run all the lights, as well as a wire up and across to this run. So, see, we got our switch box in. We actually had to go back to the store and get the correct ones because we got the wrong ones the first time. And I think that's where we're gonna stop tonight. We went and got some dinner. It's been extremely hot, and we don't have power out here, so we can't even turn a fan on. So been really hot, really humid, so we'll get back on in the morning. All right, we're back. So where we left off yesterday is we got the one side lights ran. Last night before we went in, we got the one wire ran over here that's coming from the switch and popped it outside to put a box in for, again, we're going to eventually run lights under a lean-to out there. Orange wire is the 10 gauge for the AC. So I think what we're gonna do next is run a power wire from the box up and across to the light switch, so then we can run the and then after that we'll run the second line. So having an idea, if we take a roll of wire, huh? I don't know how well that's going to work, but hopefully you can run the wire up and across and it'll kind of unroll itself without getting all tangled. So I think this is going to work.
I have no idea. This was your idea.
Well, I just came up with it like 12 seconds ago. So.
Okay.
It's already not working.
Okay.
No, that's working. All right. Think I can stand on this?
Sure. Yeah, we also have to run a line down there too.
True. Gotta run one down here for a switch.
Uh-huh.
Problem is, wires get hung up in these corners.
Yep.
Now it's getting twisted. It's not working. It's not unrolling. Can you just unroll it? Oh, it's hooked on the other. Well, you know, sometimes lines just don't work. Or should we run it? Like, more official like.
Like right there to the corner where everything else is?
Alright, you're bothering me.
You're welcome. I feel like if we didn't have transmission obstacles, it'd be easier. No, I'm not.
You don't need extra transmissions laying around?
Not to trip over.
You never know, okay? If you didn't have junk laying around, you couldn't buy junk in order to put that junk into. Or you would have to buy junk and then buy more junk to install into said junk.
But we have 5 transmissions.
It's, well, then we need 5 profit cards. Makes sense in my mind.
Okay.
I don't know, something like that.
Sure. There you go.
Well, somebody put a zip tie up there.
Yeah, you're supposed to just stretch it and then go through it. That's what you told me. So if you go up there and we figure out what length we need, then I can cut it and you can go on about your
This
business.
looks plenty long.
You are so wasteful. Stuff is like gold.
I'm over it. All right, we skipped ahead a little bit. So, run the wires down loosely. This will all have to be cleaned up and stuff. But so, in the box, we've got the 10 gauge that ran to the AC, 2 hots for 220, and grounded. And then, as far as the lights go, neutral, ground on this side, of course, and 1 wire into a 15 amp breaker. Again, I'm not a licensed electrician. I'm purely DIY. Take this how you will. Do your research for your project. This is the way I learned, the way I taught from my DIY dad, and our house has never burned down. Again, do your own research. Don't take what I'm doing as gospel. This is what's worked for me in the past, and I haven't had any problems. So on the box, I'm gonna go ahead and start labeling as well. Obviously, 2 breakers for 220 for the air conditioning, and I'm gonna have main lights, and then our of course other circuits will be added. But all right, so next we have everything ran to here that we need for the lights, other than across and up to run the second line. So we're going to do that, get all the lights dialed in, and then we can go ahead and turn the main power on, I think, and test to make sure the lights work and see if the shop burns down. So we're going to start doing that, probably put it in fast mode here and just get this knocked out. Main lights are in, got those all wired up. So now to tackle this mess. So have labeled all these. So main power in, which is from the circuit breaker, obviously. Charging, that's going to be our outlet by the toolbox, as well as the floodlight out back. I got lean-to, which is just going to be dead-ended into the wall over there for now until we do that. We got 2 of them marked lights, which is our 2 main light runs. What else we got? Flood. So floodlight up. Again, we're going to put a floodlight outside. So the lights will be on one switch, lean-to will be on another switch, charging station will be on a switch, and what's the other one? Floodlight?
Floodlight.
Yep. Okay.
Charging station supposed to be back there.
Pretty straightforward. So this is obviously a dual pole. Power would come into this side. A single would just have like one set basically, and the one switch would break the connection between the two. So the way this one works is you have power in, and if you break this tab between the two, you could actually have 2 separate circuits in, which obviously this one, if you run power to one side or the other, it'll connect power to the switch, or to each, both switches rather. And then this side would be the broken part. So whether you hook power to either one of these, when you turn the switch on, this switch on, it'll send power out through that, this switch on, out power out through that. So the idea is, planning on, bring that over here, is running one switch here, and that'll be main lights and charging station, and then the other side will be floodlight and then lean-to. So I'm gonna quick kind of go through this. It's gonna be kind of a jumbled mess. It's gonna be kind of a jumbled mess in here because there's a bunch of wires, but I'm gonna try to clean it up as best I can and kind of make it semi-organized. So I'm just gonna knock that out real quick. I'll show you what we got. I got this jumbled mess going here. So it's difficult to see. I got the breaker on, but I want to be careful. But hot side in connects to the bottom side. I ran a wire over to connect to a hot side on this side, and then the hot wire out that we ran to the charging station back there, not for the charging station but for the floodlight that'll go out back. So power out to the lights, power out to the charging station and the other wire in that bundle, power out to the floodlight that's going to go again out here, and power out to, what was the last one? Oh, wire we ran over to run lean-to lights later. So if I did all this right, we should have lights. We do. And then this one for the charging station, I just plugged in a fan, which that works. I'm assuming if you can't see it, you can hear it. All right, so light part is done. So back here, I'll show you what I'm talking about. So we have Main power coming in, the red wire. Can you see that? There we go. Back up. There we go. So red wire is hot all the time. So this switch will be hot all the time for the floodlights. And then this wire here is switched power from the switch up there. And then the switched out will go out to the floodlight for out back. So I know it's kind of difficult to follow along. A lot of wires, you got to kind of pay attention, and it helps to kind of draw yourself a map maybe, or label like I did. So I'm going to get these two boxes sealed up, get the switches down in and covers on them and all that. And I think we're going to go get some lunch, and then we'll get started on the rest of the wiring. We got all the outlets to do. I got to run a wire for the compressor and the lift and a welder plug. So, and we do have floodlights to install. So, oh yeah, we got more lights to install. So, all right, forgot about that. Damn it. Back from lunch. It was delicious. Thanks for asking. All right, so we kind of jumped ahead a little bit. We got our other lights in. So ran a double switch, one for those lights, one for is just looped up here. So when we actually do the loft across, we can actually run lights under as well. But so those are all working. They're actually a little brighter than these are, to be honest. But you know, you start on outlets. Kind of jumped ahead of that a little bit too. We're running wires. Went ahead and run this yellow wire, which is 12 gauge across and down to start the run for that side wall. We also ran one here next to the sink. We're going to run a GFCI outlet. I do plan on running a they got a kind of an inexpensive like under sink water heater. It's like, I don't know, like 4 gallons or something like that. But when it's cold outside and you wash your hands with cold water, it is not a good time. So the plan, I think, is we've got double boxes over here real quick. Got these double outlet boxes. I think we're gonna run one there, one there, one there, and one there on this side. So this shelving that's above this bench, it's actually going to get modified and mounted to the wall, moved up a little bit, so there'll be space under it. But I like to have power here where the bench is, as well as power on this wall, of course. And then I do want to get a better bench set up here and have a permanent bench kind of here in the corner, and so we'll have an outlet for it there. As far as this side, so same thing, it's 30-foot wall, 10 feet up on this post, we'll do an outlet, and then another 10 feet, we'll do an outlet there. We'll have the one GFCI there, so we'll have an extra plug if we need it. I don't see us needing it, but maybe. And I don't think I'm gonna run one at this corner. So when the loft is up and finished, this Gorilla Rack's gonna stay here for, you know, kind of stuff that we'll get into all the time, or more common stuff, I should say. And I think the press is going to stay there as well. So I don't know that I'll need power there. If I do, I mean, there'll be an outlet right there realistically. So that should be plenty for what we need. So yeah, I'm also debating on, well, not debating, I've pretty much made my mind up, but I'm tired of going up and down the ladder. I'm getting sick of it. So I have these little caps, these things, can't see that? These things. So basically you knock these holes out and you put the plastic in so the wire doesn't chafe on it. So I think I'll run from my box there and drill a hole in either side of the uprights and put a plastic deal in there and just run the wire along the wall. The corners might get a little tricky. I think we'll try it here and just see what happens. again, I'm sure this isn't like the correct way to do it or the right way to do it, but this is how I'm going to do it. So again, do your research on what's correct and all that. For what I need to do, I think that's the lazy way. So that's the way I'm going to do it. So I'm going to get a box in this corner and start running wires to these other ones. Anything you like to add? No, it's hot. And there's a thunderstorm going on right now. So I got the first outlets started. I think I'm gonna go up, try to maybe follow this line here. So there's a hole in this corner, not to cut that back. And through to the next one. See if I'm gonna start at this corner, see if this works out or not. That's not gonna be big enough. This, that.
Did you only grab one?
Huh?
So did you only grab one?
Yeah. I don't know why that wouldn't work. So if we got to go to that one there.
Okay. So I need 2 more. Okay. Okay, so we're running it all the way down here to where we need it, and then cutting it? Or did you already pull the length that you need?
I put what I need. There, is it tie handy?
No, but I can get one. Does it matter what length?
Shoulder.
Hold on.
It doesn't matter.
Sound shorter.
Alright, so that will hook into there. That, drill more holes. Alright, I don't know why that wouldn't work. Plastic keep it from chafing on the metal. And we don't have to climb a ladder anymore.
Hallelujah. Until our next project.
Yeah. That's
Why did I need 4?
so. Oh, we gotta go through this one, through that one, through that one, now. All those. And we gotta go to the other side of the shop and do the same thing.
But we don't have to climb a ladder.
Right.
Okay. Alright. You gonna be back?
All right. We'll be back. Shop is an absolute disaster, but the rain stopped. So, got this side all done. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 outlets in, plus the one for the charging station over there. I did screw up a little bit. That one I mounted too high. Instead of measuring off the floor, measured off the bottom rail there. So, other side, haven't started yet, but it should be pretty easy. Like I said, I ran a temporary outlet earlier while we were doing the lights, so we could at least have a fan. But I'm just gonna come off the box. One's gonna get mounted there. through that up right there and then mounted to the other one over there. Like I said, I'm not going to run one in the back like I did on the other side. And then we have this outlet here for a water heater later. So that we got, what else do we got? I think I'm going to, I had talked about before doing a hush house for the compressor outside this wall. But if I'm going to do a lean-to down this side of the building, I think I'm just going to mount or put it out there. So I need to run just a quick outlet outside this wall somewhere, probably in here somewhere. Other than that, I am going to also run a welder outlet on this wall somewhere. So I'm going to get back to it. It's getting later. It's about 5 o'clock. It's not too bad, but starting to get tired, really hot. So trying to get it knocked out here. And then an outlet cover. Oh, that one's in there a little crooked, a little twisted, but that's all right. So yeah, that's it. So if you look that way, flip the breaker on. This should have power. Here, I got a grinder. Ta-da! There we go. That is all outlets, well, all 110 outlets done. So I think I have another box here somewhere.
Right here.
Where's the outlet itself?
You're not supposed to use your teeth for that. The dentist would be mad.
That's fine. So I'm going to mount this box on this side, opposite of this one, and mount in a welder plug. Okay. I'm using everything.
What was up there?
Hmm?
Behind your behind.
Alright. Then we'll take, use our teeth again.
Mm-hmm.
2 of these guys. Put screw in it.
Usually helpful.
No good. No good. One. Why not? Alright, loosen this one a bit. Are you happy? Oh, that one's dead. Alright.
That one is hung in all day long.
Okay. Now where do we put? Just right here? Sure? Good. That's good.
But what? Oh, the compressor?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm gonna grab that box real quick.
Sure. We're going on an adventure. Do you need anything? Because I didn't grab any
I'm
tools.
just gonna show real quick and we're gonna get done with this crap. I'm tired.
It's after 7.
Is it really?
Yeah.
It's been a long day. All right. So again, plan on doing a lean-to on this side. So this is the wire we ran out for the up there. This is the wire we ran out for running lights underneath. So I need to snip this off, put a cover over it. And then I've got another box. We'll mount this over here and run another 10 gauge wire out, and we'll obviously right in here somewhere put the compressor. So other than that, I think that's pretty much it for electrical. We got again a couple floodlights to mount, but that's not that big of a deal. It's just the wire's already there. We just got to mount a box and mount the lights themselves. But it's been a busy couple days, so a long way from one little outlet in that corner, and extension cords ran everywhere. So
4 extension cords got the job done.
they got the job done, that's for sure. So yeah, so I think we have outlets everywhere where we need them, and lights are working. Of course the lights were working before, but so I think that's it for this one. Got a little tidying up to do. I gotta hook up the wire that's gonna go to the lift. Yeah, gonna go to the lift. I have a hard time making words into sentences and have them make sense. It's kind of difficult. But so then 10 gauge wire here. I'm gonna run it up to the center, terminate it in a box, and then we'll run it down the lift later. Obviously compressor's got to be hooked up and all that. So next up, we're doing wood on the walls. 8 feet high, like we've talked about several times now, and a loft. Obviously we ran wires for lights and all that, and yeah, mini split. In fact, I got shipping today, so hopefully a week or so we'll get that. It is so brutal. Other than that, if you want to subscribe for me to find your way back, if you would like to, like the video, I'd appreciate that. Leave me a comment. Tell me what you'd like to see. Tell me what I'm doing wrong. I'm sure there's plenty. And other than that, anything from you?
Nope. Have a nice night.
We'll see you next time.